Is it too early to prep the groundwork to wind down this hiking cycle?
Is it too early? In my opinion, yes. I think that inflation is more problematic than what a downshift now would imply. Having said that, if I was sitting at the Fed right now, I would really struggle, John, in terms of where I would end up, because the market has run away once again with, at least you're calling it a step down and downshift. Most people call it a pivot, which has loosened financial conditions significantly. So it's a tough one for the Fed. This is a really, really tough meeting.
How does that get addressed, do you think, in this news conference today, Mohammed?
He has to be really delicate, John. He's trying to optimize across three dimensions, all of which speak to his dual mandate. And it's not easy because the marketplace just wants to hear one thing. And the marketplace doesn't recognize that there are these three dimensions and that you've got to optimize, and it's tricky and you can't pre-commit too early. So it's going to be really, really tricky.
Last time they met, in the minutes after that meeting, there was some mention of the following line, basically answering the question as to whether the risk of doing too little outweighs the risk of doing too much. As they meet today, Mohammed, do you think that assessment has changed much in the last couple of months? Does the risk of doing too little still outweigh the risk of doing too much?
I mean, look at the JOLTS number. I mean, that's a shocker, John. Yeah, I do believe so. I know that there's only a handful of us who think that the risk of doing too little is higher than the risk of doing too much at this stage. Optimally, we shouldn't be here, and we could have avoided being here. That's the tragedy of the whole situation. But now that we're here, right, the risk is that they will do too little, and that's the higher risk going forward.
Do you think that's still their assessment? Matters much less what I think. What do you think they think right now?
I don't know, John. I really don't know.
That's problematic, isn't it, Mohammed?
Yeah, this is a Fed where it is very difficult to figure out how is it anchored, right? Normally, with Yellen, with Bernanke, with Greenspan, people had a sense of what was anchoring the Fed. This one seems to be sort of drifts according to what the latest consensus is. And then once in a while, course corrects in a violent manner, like we saw at Jackson Hole. So it's very hard. I don't know what they're thinking, John. I don't think anybody knows what they're thinking.